Hello everybody, this is your boy Chibuike Kasmia, aka Igwe Chibike, and we are here for this very exciting and wonderful show. Now today we have another interesting topic for you. But before then, I have to introduce my wonderful, exciting, intelligent guest. And here with me I have two gentlemen and one exciting, wonderful, and beautiful lady. Okay, let me start. But I will start with the ladies first this time around. All right. Hunt, introduction yourself for us, please.
My name is Ayomide. Hello, guys.
Yes, Ayomide, our regular sister. She's saying hi to us. And my brother.
My name is Osato.
Mr. Osato, as usual. As I said, leave that name for now. That's it. And I said he's a fine gentleman. Trust me, he's one of the coolest dudes I've ever seen. So please, can you tell us your name, sir?
Hello, everybody. My name is Toby.
Yeah, you see that name? My name is Toby, straight to the point. Doesn't waste time. Even the name gets silent. That is it. All right, so what do we have today? Our topic today is, let us look at our dictionary. Yes, that is it. Okay. Our topic today is the effect of hard drugs on our present generation. I did not say this is our present generation. So I'm going to start with Mr. Toby, the cool dude I told you. So he's going to tell us. So Mr. Toby, when you hear hard drugs, what comes to your mind?
Hard drugs. Usually psycho-addictive drugs that keep pulling you in, drugs that have effects on your mental, physical being, and just drugs that have an effect on who you are and transform you into something else.
Yeah, so talking about addiction of these hard drugs. So Mr. Sato, tell me, this our present generation, do you think they are so addictive to this thing called hard drugs? I don't know if I would use the term hard drug, but let us use a term that everyone understands. Because trust me, even in the pharmaceutical department, there are hard drugs that people take for people who have a certain type of ailment. But for the layman understanding, please to put that out there, we're talking about, drugs that affect, like what Mr. Toby said, affect your psychological and mental state and your whole physical being when you abuse it. We can mention them, the heroines and the rest of them, blah, 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 and the meth mats and the cocaine and the... that is it. So now, I'm coming back to you now. Tell me, what do you feel? Do you think that these guys, the addiction is way out of ground compared to, some of those bros back then? So compared to your generation back then?
Well, I remember a conversation we had earlier some time ago. It was like, the point is, I think this generation, number one first, does not know what these things are. Like, in the first place, they just want to take something to be approved. Most of the time. It's like you are...
Please, can you say that line again?
They want to take something to be approved. Wow. Yes, not because they really... Because some people, at the time I knew about these hard drugs and stuff, some people were doing it because of depression or because of something, because they want, as he said, they want to get out of the states they are in to another state. But the ones I'm seeing now is like they're enjoying a group and they just want to be in that group and believe that if they do it, they'll be accepted. And most of them do not know the effect of these things. Most of them just feel if they take it, we'll get high and that's it. It's not because they're coming from a place where their father and their mother is fighting, or they are depressed, or there's a problem and all that. It's a place of, I want to be approved. I want somebody to know that I did smoke, I Sabian, I know this thing, this cook. No, it's not hard for me.
But don't you think that is an old friend of the world when it comes to human existence? Don't you think that that thing of because I believe that peer pressure has been there from time. All of us that went through our primary and secondary school, we all remember about peer pressure.
Yes, we all remember.
So I believe that drug addicts, right from time, they are, I'm trying to understand.
There's a story to every drug addict at the time.
Please.
There's always a story. There's always, how did you get into it?
Okay.
It's like, this thing was happening, and I felt that this was going to help me and zone me away from it and stuff like that. But these children, they're not children. This young people, this generation believes that they can just take the thing
without any purpose.
There's no purpose. It wasn't because it's not because, at least there are some men who are married and they drink because of the problem the wife is giving them. in their house.
Oh,
Wait, we're coming back. I just want to say that.
I'll bite you now.
So people do some things because of something. While this generation believes that they can just take anything and that's it.
So you're telling me that this generation they are more abusive when it comes to taking these substances than back in the days.
Yes, they abuse.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Or is it because of the level of exposure is more now than then?
And the level of exposure is exactly what the groups are. The level of exposure is where...
What I mean by level of exposure, I mean, don't you think that the level of exposure when it comes to people knowing these things is more? I'm coming to you, Ayo. I'm coming to you on that. I just want to get more clarity on this thing. I still think that this generation and the past generation, they are all into this thing. Don't you think that it's all about the level of exposure that these ones have now compared to back in the days when there are very few means of communication or for you knowing things.
And it wasn't easy to get at the time. Now it's easy to get now.
That is what I was about to say. Back then, they use these things more than these new.
Yeah.
Yes. The reason why this one is just everywhere, everybody's seeing it, is because of exposure, like you say, social media, videoing themselves, posting it, so it escalated everywhere, everybody can see it. But back then, nobody to video anybody. In fact, back then, our parents would not want their shame to be out. They will take you inside. They might even beat you, maybe do whatever things. Okay, let's take weed for example. You cannot tell me weed just came into existence.
No, weed is an OG now.
It's a plant.
Yeah.
It has been in existence for a long time.
Yeah.
They take this tobacco, what they call
nicotine gotten from tobacco. Yeah.
Pipe.
Yeah, that one is just the medium.
They sabi this thing. They know it. They do it than us. Do it than this generation. Right?
Are we now saying that those people that are doing it hidden at the time, okay, I think the set of people that are hiding it then are still hiding it now? So if they're hiding it now, and there are some people that are exposing themselves, it means they've tripled.
Then some of them too don't hide it.
At that time. They have always been a bad child. Even from generations past.
But Mr. Toby, for example, we said bad child. Good child now don't they turn bad even. You understand me? But because I still feel that there's something about which I really key in with what Ayomide is even saying more. Because I believe that this thing, I don't think this generation are doing worse than before.
They are learning.
I think this generation are learning. I'm coming because I have these things to tell. Now, for example, back in the days, there were some restrictions, just little. They may not really matter, but the number one of them is government restriction.
Yes.
There was a high government restriction back in the days.
Yes.
In some countries, both of us know, Toby, that some countries this thing has been legalized.
Yeah.
That is free of charge. In fact, what you just need is just doctor's report. That's all. You can just go to the pharmacy. Even they sell it in some pharmacies. They sell it. But compared to back then, when they say, it's a no. If government says no, church will say no. Two of them will march on it. But now, so that's what I'm saying. Don't you think that?
I still beg to differ because back in the day, the channels were really discreet. People distributing, the people using, and all that. They were not really out there in our faces.
Yes.
Now, with pop culture, the exposure to the internet, social media, and the fear of missing out, like FOMO, people just want to be the cool kids. People want to be part of the cool clique of people. And now it's popular. You can easily do things and post it on the internet. And then you're like a cool person if you're a user. People's role models are drug addicts. People who are rich, the musicians, the actors, there are people who use this thing and use them openly. This demographic of young kids of today who are exposed to this information feel like it is cool to do these things. Back in the day, parents had control, community had control,
over them, yes.
The government had control of these things. But now, people can sell drugs brazenly. Like in your street, in 2 streets or 3 blocks away from you, you see a dealer or a group of dealers